spoken to families who have had deaths due to suicide terror, but we didn't interview them specifically for the film, and we didn't want to.
What would have happened if it was your family member who died due to a misguided 6-year-old or 8-year-old or 10-year-old? Would you still try to excuse the behavior?
I'm not, let's make it clear, okay? I'm not excusing behavior. We have something called international law, which states that children are more impressionable than adults, and therefore we afford them special protection under the law. Coming at this from an attorney's point of view, coming at this from a point of view where I'm trying to look for a solution, blaming the children, putting the children in jail is not a solution. Obviously, if a family member of mine was killed, I would be extremely upset, but that still wouldn't change my mind. That still wouldn't make me feel that the child himself is responsible for the brainwashing, the school textbooks, the music videos, the religious clerics, the money that goes into the phenomenon of creating the child suicide bomber. It's beyond the child. And when I spoke to these children and we asked them, why do you want to become a martyr? They didn't mention political reasons. They didn't tell me because Sharon walked on the Temple Mount or because of the settlements. They were talking about aspirations, aspirations to become famous. So you could see with them, it's not even a desire to kill, it's a desire to go to heaven. They don't even think they're killing themselves.
But who's going to rehabilitate them?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question.
Sir, in the middle there, sir.
Yeah. I agree.
My question is, what did you tell them was your motivation for the documentary that allowed you access and allowed them to open up to tell you what was going on?
Well, I told them the truth. I told them I was a Canadian. I told them I was a law student, and I was interested in exposing human rights violations against Palestinian children. And that's all I really had to hear.
Right, but you didn't say by whom. Is there a hand back there, or are you yawning? Yes, please.
Yeah, I have a question.
No, 1 second, sir. Was it back all the way back there? I don't want to penalize the people in another time.
So this is actually a serious question. Was Ann Coulter, pro-Israel, wonderful lady, was she right when she said that the solution is to convert all of them to Christianity?
Asking me or Brooke? No, sir.
Both.
She spoke tongue-in-cheek. I found nothing particularly offensive. I didn't find it offensive that she thinks Jews are completed or perfected by taking Jesus. It's a Jew who cannot hear a Christian say, we would like you to convert, is a wimp. And we produce wimps more than we produce serious Jews. I am stunned at the hysteria in Jewish life over being offended. Their ignorance of Christianity, living in a Christian world, is so spectacular that I reel in disbelief. Christians want people to take Christ. That's what they do for their life. Well, why is that offensive? Now, she said that the world would be better if, in fact, the Muslim world woke up tomorrow Christian. I can't understand why that is even debatable. No, I don't understand. It is not offensive. It is not. I don't. It shows you the lies that permeate our life under the name of political correctness. I don't have, as it were, a groundhog in this battle. I always get that metaphor mixed up. I don't have a porcupine in this sanitarium, but I'm not a Christian, so I don't have a theological game there. But morally speaking, at this point, not in the year 1100, but at this point in time, the Christian world is on a higher moral plane than the Islamic world. That is a fact. That is not even debatable. Nobody nurtures this hatred in the Christian world.
On the contrary, they're the Jews' best friend.
That's correct. This is Thursday. On Monday night, Sunday night, this week, Sunday night, I spoke in San Antonio, Texas, to 5,000 Christians. at the Cornerstone Church of Pastor John Hagee, and they raised $8 million to give to Israeli Society for Autistic Children, for Israeli Ethiopian Jews. And the Reform rabbi in San Antonio would not show up because he differs with them on same-sex marriage. This is the state of Jewish life. You raised it. I'm telling it to you. And I attend a Reform synagogue, not Orthodox, so I don't have a porcupine in that sanitarium. But I do have this. I have an erotic attraction to truth. And this is the truth about the situation of Jews today. But so, did you want to comment, or we should take a note? That's fine. I had a feeling you didn't want to comment on that one. Sir?
Yes, I appreciate the film very much. Thank you so much. It's really great. Since you came on the podcast, I hear you a lot more. I love it. You're great. And you were pointing out the good Muslims, etc. I think that's a wonderful statement. But when last December you read about the Tulsa World report on a Muslim that had criticized Zawahiri and Al-Qaeda, and he got thrown out of the mosque, really frightened me, because that was in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Right. A quick point, and then I want to say something about Brooke. Poor Brooke. You feel fine, so I take it back. No, poor Brooke. Lucky Brooke. He points out, in my reference to my comment about there are, after all, of course there are good Muslims, and we can't say every Muslim, etc., that nevertheless he reminds me of a report from the Tulsa World, Tulsa paper, about a Muslim kicked out of his mosque for protesting against Islamic atrocities. But it's exactly because of that Muslim's existence that I don't want to say every. That's all. I want to ask the question that Abraham asked of God about Sodom and Gomorrah. What if there are 10 righteous, and there are 10 righteous? There are 50 righteous Muslims.
To the same note, though, I mean, if not every Muslim is a bloodthirsty killer, then not every Muslim parent wants their child to become a suicide bomber.
That's right. Nobody says that everyone does. No one here would believe that every single Muslim parent wants their child to do it.
When I expressed that view, I was called naive by an audience member.
No, you were called naive for another reason. No. You were called naive because you believe that the fact that they care about 10-year-olds blowing themselves up is a glimmer of hope for the future.
We, as Westerners, have to empower these Muslims.
We do empower them.
What we've done with Irshad Manji.
Yes, we do empower. Well, hold on one second. We do empower them by giving them the freest countries in the world, in the United States, and for that matter, Canada. And Irshad Manji, I know well, and travels with bodyguards. So, and we do empower her. I've had her on my show a dozen times. And so do others. But Irshad Manji is regarded by the New York Times and by the entire left as a traitor, in effect, to the cause of hate America and hate Bush. So even though she herself is a lesbian activist. But that's not enough for the left. You have to hate this administration to be kosher. So that's the issue. I know it's time, so I want to end in a very, very important point about Brooke and about the Christians. Something you would not have tied together, but I want to. It is. I say this all the time to Jewish liberals who are well, they want to convert us and this. Christians want to convert everyone. That's why they were missionaries who devoted their lives to uplifting the lives of people in the toughest regions of Africa. That is correct. That's what animates Christians. They want to spread the word of Christ. That's correct. Jews want to spread the word of liberalism. I don't understand. I do not understand one iota the difference between the Jewish desire to evangelize for liberalism and the Christian desire to evangelize for Christianity. I do not see one scintilla of difference. They each devote their lives and believe that those who have not embraced their thinking are in some way benighted.